felt so many things in the last year or so. There's times I felt scared. There's times I felt humiliated. There's times I felt embarrassed. And ultimately, I just felt terrible.
What's going on, Matt? BMO. What's going on, guys? Let me get out this tweet, and then we will get to some of the more recent news that has broke, and I will get to some questions as well. What's going on, William? J Flyer Dynasty. You guys are in here early, new to the channel. Well, welcome, man. I hope you guys enjoy your stay here, enjoy the live stream, win some money. Yeah, if you guys enjoy this content, make sure to join the Discord. It is completely free, linked in the description below. We are we are very quickly growing that Discord. What's going on, DePrince? What's the pick again today? I like the Sacramento Kings today, plus 2.5 points. I believe that the Kings run their starters quite a bit longer than the Los Angeles Clippers. Yeah, Tyronn Lue typically takes a pretty slow approach to the preseason when it comes to his starters. What's going on, Luke, Brandon, Gary, Logan? Gotta dissect the Jokic news. Yeah, that was the first thing I was going to break down. Let me get this tweet out, and then we'll talk about the Jokic thing, because to some people it may be concerning. To me, I am not that concerned about it, to be honest, but I can understand if you guys have some skepticisms. I did turn him from an S tier play to an A tier play, but, you know, to each their own when it comes to their decision making. Okay, let me turn on my screen. Hey, I appreciate you subscribing, Alex. Yeah, if you guys are new here or haven't done so already, make sure to subscribe, like this video. You'll be notified whenever I go live or post a video. I'll be here throughout the entire preseason, regular season, playoffs. It's going to be a good time, good little community we got going on. But the tweet that has been going around the DFS world today with Nikola Jokic, Michael Malone says the plan is for Nikola Jokic to practice with the team tomorrow, and this was a couple days ago on the 4th in San Francisco, and hopefully get a few minutes when they play the Warriors. Jokic rejoined the team after he was back home with his wife and newborn. So, yeah, this is going to scare some people off of him, but if we have looked at recent games, recent preseasons with the with Michael Malone as the coach with the Denver Nuggets, if I can find the Nuggets, he has rested some games and not played at all, but whenever he is in the game, he has never played just the first half. He has always played into the second half, and if he's getting 21 minutes, he is a must play for me. I think that Michael Malone, and that's not even a real Denver Nuggets reporter, and it wasn't quoted. It was just, you know, he might have said, oh, we're going to get him some minutes. Not a little amount of minutes, just some minutes, which that could be a wide range of minutes. But I'm tending to believe that he's going to play into the third quarter. We'll look at the schedule of the Nuggets in the previous years. We'll go to last year when they had 3 games against the same Golden State Warriors. They have 4 games left in this one. He played 23 minutes, put up 26 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, and a steal. So obviously that would be a great outcome for Nikola Jokic. And we'll go to the year before. So there was 4 games, and I believe Nikola Jokic sat out this game. Yeah, so Jokic was out this game, but we know that he is playing today after resting the first game. And it's not like he was dealing with an injury. He had a newborn baby. So we look at the game, the first game of the preseason where he started. And he played 22 minutes into the third quarter. This is what we're looking for in this. 10 points, 11 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals, and 1 block. And on the other side of the game is going to be the Golden State Warriors. And Curry's also going to be playing into the third quarter. So I think that helps his chances even more of playing. Since they know that they have quality starters on the opposite side, I think that they're going to run Nikola Jokic out there in the third quarter. Now, if you guys want to, play it safe, I suppose you could play, and you're paying up for a guy today, which is very easy to do so because there is so many value plays with the Utah Jazz and New Orleans Pelicans. You can go to a guy like Steph Curry, who I think is a great play, but why not play both? I think they're pretty solid plays. Mo Wag and Bamba starting, so I wonder if that is Wendell Carter Jr. out, or are they just starting Bamba over him? I think Bamba's a fine play. I thought the Orlando Magic were one of the more enticing teams when looking at the rotations. They ran a 10-minute rotation, strict 10-minute rotation throughout the majority of the game before they threw out the deep bench guys at the end of the game. So if everybody's healthy for the Magic, they are appropriately priced in the 5 and 6K range. I think they're all definitely viable. Specifically, guys like Mo Bamba, Wendell Carter, Jalen Suggs, Cole Anthony, the guys that are really the high per minute producers on those teams. On FanDuel, where price is irrelevant, are you just building lineups with guys you expect to get the most minutes, or do you just plug in the guys you think will score the most raw points? Well, of course, I want to get the most raw points. So when you look over here on FanDuel, yeah, there's no pricing, so pretty lazy on their part, and they have this disgusting multi-eligibility thing going on over here, which makes absolutely no sense. I mean, Nikola Jokic has power forward eligibility. The other day, Jaren Jackson had shooting guard eligibility. So, I mean, it's just beyond me. But I want to get the highest priced, or the best studs that I know are going to play into the third quarter. So guys like Steph Curry, De'Aaron Fox are very good plays over there. If some news comes out, can pivot to Steph. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, yeah, and guys, I wanted to mention this while we have a bunch of people in here and before we get too far into the analysis and questions. So, the first 2 games, the San Antonio Spurs versus Detroit Pistons and the Cleveland Cavaliers versus Atlanta Hawks game, they leave a lot to be desired, to be honest, when it comes to their fantasy plays. So I think what the sharp thing to do is you could fade these first 2 games and allow yourself the flexibility to adjust to news that is going to come out for these 7:30 p.m. games, because you're going to want to get guys in those Pelican games, the Utah Jazz games. That's where the real value is at. And then later games, you can get to your spend up options. But these first 2 games, I'm just not really enticed with anything going on. San Antonio Spurs, I mean, they play their starters into the second half, but they play very short stints. So guys like DeJounte Murray, I guess, are fine secondary plays. And then on the Detroit Pistons side, if Jackson Hayes is going to miss this game, Saben Lee does become a very interesting play. They did mention that without Cade Cunningham, that Saben Lee is going to have a larger role on this team. And if Killian Hayes is out, and he is a game time decision as of right now, Saben Lee would become one of my favorite GPP plays. He's going to be like low single digit ownership at 4,700. But he does definitely become a much better play. He is a triple-double threat if he's given the minutes. And if you guys watched his summer league, he was an absolute monster. Top shooting guards you like on FanDuel. I like Nickeil Alexander-Walker quite a bit. Tyrese Halliburton. I believe the Sacramento Kings are going to play their starters pretty large minutes today. If you guys are in here, make sure to drop a like. Hit that subscribe button. Would really appreciate it. Is it Curry over Fox, a no-brainer on DK? Yes. Yeah, in my opinion. I like both, but since they are so closely priced and I think that they play, similar minutes, it's hard for me to not play Curry over Fox. 4.5K utility, already have 3 New Orleans Pelicans and don't want to go Jones. So if you already have 3 and you don't want to go Jones, I mean, I would be fine with going Jones. I might go down to Bones Highland. I believe he's $4,300. Or you can go to Bol Bol. Would you take a center on FanDuel besides Jokic? I have Jokic at power forward. Yeah, I ended up taking him at power forward. I think there's a couple centers on the FanDuel slate that are pretty good plays. Power forward is pretty weak over there as well. We did get news just before I started this stream that the New Orleans Pelicans, what their starting roster is, starting lineup tonight is, it's going to be Devontae Graham and Nickeil Alexander-Walker in the starting lineup. He came off the bench last game. Najee Marshall, Garrett Temple, and Jonas Valanciunas. Willie Green said that they will play 20 to 25 minutes. So all of those starters for the New Orleans Pelicans, probably outside of Garrett Temple, are all in play on the slate. Yeah, definitely in play, but specifically Nickeil Alexander-Walker and Jonas Valanciunas, I really like. But Valanciunas coming off an injury, I think he probably plays to the lower bit of that range of 20 to 25 minutes. But still, if he's going to get into the third quarter, play 20 to 22 minutes, yeah, I think he's a very, very good play. Currently an A-tier play for me. I think he's a good play on FanDuel as well. Best plays on Utah. Yeah, so there is a bunch of players out for Utah today. Obviously, Gobert, Mitchell, Conley, Ingles, Bogdanovich, Gay, Whiteside. So they're very thin at the center spot today. Last game without Rudy Gobert and Hassan Whiteside starting, Udoka Azubuike ended up playing 25 minutes, put up a formidable game. Now Whiteside is out, and he's going to grab the start. Now, last year, if you look at his rates, he wasn't the best per minute producer. But I think just off sheer volume, playing 25-30 minutes in this game, he could definitely pay off this 5.9K price tag. I think he's a very, very strong play today. And I like the other Utah Jazz guys as well. Specifically, if I can find him down here. Specifically Jared Butler, who played quite a bit yesterday, or his last game he played like 22 minutes, I believe. I can actually bring it up right now. But he shot lights out, but the usage was definitely there. Now, you could say that he is shooting dependent, or scoring dependent, but when his usage is this high and he's playing this many minutes, it's hard to get away from him, especially now that we see that Mike Conley and Donovan Mitchell are also out in this game. He was the first man off of the bench alongside Jordan Clarkson, and so I'm expecting him to get the start, and he will probably play pretty deep into the second half. Jared Butler, 20 minutes, 6 for 15 shot attempts in 20 minutes for 16 points, 2 assists, 2 steals. He is sub 5K on DraftKings. I think he's a very, very strong play. 25 minutes of JaVale, sign me up. Yeah, me too, man. I think JaVale is a very strong play today. And if you guys are scared of Nikola Jokic, it wasn't even a quote. That report by a beat reporter that doesn't even cover the Nuggets a couple days ago. Maybe get down to Udoka, get down to Jonas Valanciunas. Thoughts on John Collins? Yeah, I think John Collins is a pretty damn good play today. He averaged, I believe it was 1.13 fantasy points per minute without Bogdanovich and Trae Young and Clint Capella off the court. Gorgui Dieng only played 15 minutes last game, so that means John Collins is going to start at the 4, and he's going to get backup run at the 5. And even more so because Danilo Gallinari and Solomon Hill were ruled out just before this stream. And they would play a lot of small ball with Danilo Gallinari at the 5. But now that he's out, John Collins' minutes are probably going to be pretty staggered with Gorgui Dieng's. So he's going to probably play the majority of his minutes at the 5, or at least a good bit. And he is a much better fantasy producer when he's playing minutes at the center position. And the Hawks, we know that Nate McMillan likes playing his guys into the second half. He's a bit pricey on DraftKings. On FanDuel, I think he's a very good play, though. But, in a vacuum, he's like a good raw projected player today. Do you like Butler? Yeah, I love Butler. Stop speaking a big Jared Butler game into existence, bro. We need prize picks under. I mean, at his price point, I'm fine with him getting 23 points and, getting the under on prize picks. I mean, that was pretty unfortunate that these guys got ruled out the next day. Good small forwards on FanDuel. I like Michael Porter Jr. And I think the key to FanDuel is playing Nickeil Alexander-Walker at the small forward position on FanDuel. Because I think the small forward is very weak. You're right. So shooting guard has some better plays. So I would play Nickeil at small forward. Top small forward on FanDuel, Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Is Young playing tonight? Young is doubtful. Last time I checked, I don't believe he's going to play at all. And the Hawks are missing a ton of guys today. 4.8K at Ford DK. Bagley is 4.9K, correct? Actually, let me bring up my cheat sheet. At Ford, 4.8K. I would go with Najee Marshall there. Definitely go with Najee Marshall. For Pelicans, too many. No, I think it's fine. I think, the key to the slate really is just loading up on these value Pelicans and Utah Jazz guys and then spending up, in my opinion. Giles or Bol Bol for me. Because Bol played minutes at the 4, and he's obviously going to get minutes as the backup 5 as well, behind Aaron Gordon and Nikola Jokic. And then the second half is going to be his. He's likely to close that game out. I think he plays 20 minutes again in this game, and he's a high per-minute producer. And on top of that, he is a bare minimum price player at the weakest position on DraftKings. $4,000 at power forward. It's Coffee and Play. Yeah, so Coffee played 30 minutes. But man, does that guy suck. I mean, you look at his rates last year, they were pretty god-awful. I was thinking, like, his prize picks over-under right now is like 18.5 points. He didn't even get that last game, and he played 30 minutes. And now we get the return of Paul George, Marcus Morris, Nicholas Batum. Yeah, I'm not on Amir Coffee all that much. Yeah, if you guys are in here, make sure to subscribe, like that video. Would really appreciate it. Bringing you these live streams every single day. Best Ford under 7,600. Let's take a look, man. Yeah, so this range is pretty gross. I would honestly probably say Jeremy Grant at 7,300, just because we know that we have already received word that these starters are going to play 20 to 25 minutes. So yeah, I mean, 7,300 for Jeremy Grant. He has a ton of upside for sure, though. And Kate Cunningham is out, and Killian Hayes may be out as well. He is a game time decision. Favorite FanDuel shooting guards, probably Tyrese Halliburton, Darius Garland, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Collins, Azubike, Forrest, or Jokic, Bones, Marshall. I'm going to go with the Jokic side. Any Luka love? Yeah, so if you guys haven't heard, so they already mentioned that Jason Kidd, their new head coach, mentioned that Luka Doncic and Kristaps Porzingis will be playing in tandem and only in the first half. They will not be playing into the second half. So if you think that Luka can get it done, this is more of a FanDuel specific play. If you think he can get it done in one half, I think he could definitely do it. I mean, he's probably only going to play like 15, 16 minutes, and he's going to be next to Porzingis. It's not like he's going to be next to it by himself. So he's not reaching his max potential of usage when playing next to Kristaps. And in the same vein, the guys that are starting next to both of those guys and playing next to Kristaps Porzingis and Luka Doncic at the same time, their usage is going to take a massive hit. So guys like Tim Hardaway Jr., not that great of plays. Saban Lee tonight and DeLon Wright. I don't mind Saban Lee. Would like him a lot more if Killian Hayes was indeed out, but and then DeLon Wright. I think DeLon Wright is a pretty good play. I think him and Kevin Huerter are going to be the main facilitators and ball handlers for this Hawks team through the first 3 quarters. Bobo season last. You like Bobo? Yeah, I think Bobo is fine. Dashing Jay Stino, thank you so much for subscribing. Really appreciate it, guys. Jeremy Grant makes me want to puke. Yeah, I have no Jeremy Grant today, but the top raw projected player in that price range at forward, yeah, it's probably him. I would much rather go way down and get to these other Pelicans and Jazz guys. Jordan Clarkson thoughts. Yeah, so I mean, this is like the most GPP play on the entire slate, especially at his price. He's priced all the way up to 70. Where is he at? He's like 7,600. 7,500. So yeah, I mean, with all of these guys out for the Utah Jazz, this guy is going to dominate at least in the first half. Now, if he gets into the third quarter, he might be near must play, but with all these guys resting and Snyder doesn't really play his starters all that much in the preseason games, and obviously, I mean, he's not a starter, but he's their sixth man. He's sixth man of the year, really important to their team. I could see him just playing the first half, but if he does play into the third quarter, I mean, Jordan Clarkson's upside is as high as pretty much anybody's on this slate with the current construction of that Utah Jazz roster. DeJounte tonight, I don't mind him. I just don't really expect him to play any more than like 22 minutes. He's a fine play at his price point. It's not like he's overpriced or anything. Mobley or Murphy? Wow. Yeah, so Mobley played pretty damn well last game, but I'm probably going to go with Murphy just because of the minutes upside. With the Cavaliers playing so many guys, I can't imagine Mobley matching the minutes that Murphy's going to get in this game. Best power forward on FanDuel, Jokic. Cole Anthony starting? Yeah, I think that the Magic are just messing things around. What's going on, Matt? I guess I'll check my Discord. Saben Lee is starting? Oh, wow. Is Hayes out? Hold up. This would be really... Oh, yeah. Okay. So, yeah, Saben Lee's like pretty much near must play for me. DeJounte isn't starting. Okay, I would get off DeJounte then. I did not see that. Wow, Saben Lee starting with no Killian Hayes. Yeah, I just saw it, Matt. I just saw it. Thank you. Okay, so let me update the Patreon real quick, guys, because you are going to want to play Saben Lee. I like Saben Lee a good bit tonight. Actually, well, I mean, he's pretty on par with the other values on the slate. I would consider him an A-tier play. Let me update the Patreon real quick, guys, and then I'll finish getting to the questions. But yeah, I mean, with all the coach speak, with just Cunningham being out, I already like Saben Lee, but now Killian Hayes is also out, so, and he's grabbing the start. Yeah, so Saben Lee is a pretty strong play today. And DeJounte Murray isn't starting, you know, the top defending guard on the Spurs. That's another positive. I just updated the Draftkings. I put a little note on Patreon for you guys in there. If you guys want to join my Patreon, know exactly what I'm doing each and every night. That is linked down below. $25 for the rest of the month. Receive my full FanDuel lineup, DraftKings core, DraftKings cheat sheet, FanDuel cheat sheet, and my game-by-game notes that are updated throughout the day. Less than $1 a day. I think it's a pretty damn good deal. Wow, so Saben Lee season maybe? All right, guys. Yo, if you guys are in here, make sure to subscribe. Hit that like button. Would really appreciate it. Lee or Delon on FanDuel. Man, that's tough. I'd probably go with Lee there. It's got the green check. Yeah, I love Saben Lee tonight now. And you know, the fact that this news came out so late, he's probably still going to be very, very low owned. And we were on him before this news even happened, so feels good about that. We were ahead of the curve on that. Would you tournament stab Moses Brown? Yeah, I don't mind him. I mean, he is such a monster on a permanent basis. I think he's fine. Isaiah Stewart. Yeah, Isaiah Stewart's coming off an injury. I'm unsure how much he plays. I mean, if he plays into the fourth quarter, I think he's a strong, or into the third quarter, I think he's a decently strong play. I just think he's rather expensive. Man or Murphy? Man, that's tough. It's probably Murphy for me. It's so damn tough though. Still on Terrence Mann. Yeah, Terrence Mann is a good play. Both those guys are very, very good plays. Is Saben Lee a good play on FanDuel? Yeah, I think he's a solid play on FanDuel. Would you play? And Saben Lee on FanDuel is definitely going to be under-owned. Like, literally like 1-2% owned. So, and he definitely has the possibility to be the highest scoring shooting guard outside of maybe Nickeil Alexander-Walker. But he definitely does possess that upside. Would you play Jokic with Bobo? If not, any power forward for 4K? Yeah, so that's the thing. I think it's definitely fine. Just because they're probably going to play in different halves, and Bobo can get it done in 20 minutes. Both these guys can pay off their price tags in 22 minutes, especially Bol considering his minimum price. Favorite forward 5100, not Marshall or Bagley. Let me take a look. I mean, it's probably Herbert Jones then. Best power forward on DK, it's probably Bol at minimum price or Marvin Bagley at 4,900. Marvin Bagley, I mean, I just don't really understand his price. They priced up all these Sacramento Kings guys in that 8K range, all the starters up here, and then they priced Bagley down here at 4,900, and he played 21 minutes last game, so I think that is probably the floor minutes for him. And he, if you go back to last year, he was their second highest per minute producer. So if we're gonna get a 1+ fantasy point per minute player playing 21, 22 minutes at 4,900 at the weakest position of the slate, yeah, Marvin Bagley, very, very safe play. J-Val, Bol, or Udoka and Bagley. Yeah. I mean, Matt, we are in lockstep with our lineups. It's really tough for me right now. I have the Udoka Bagley side because I think it's safer, but the J-Val Bol side I think could be lesser owned, but I think the upside's higher with Bol and J-Val, and it is kind of a hedge on the Nikola Jokic situation. Man or Marshall already have 2 Pels. If you already have 2 Pels, I'd probably go with Man there, but both great plays. Warriors or Nuggets? Man, that's kind of tough. I'd probably side with the Warriors there. Probably side with the Warriors tonight just because I like that, how deep their bench is now, especially with guys like Moses Moody and Kuminga, who are going to be trying very, very hard late into the game. A bit more talent on the deep bench for the Warriors than on the Nuggets side. And both teams should play their starters through 3 quarters. And the Warriors are a slightly better team right now. 5,400 DK Cash utility. 5,400, probably Trey Murphy or Terrence Mann, both good plays. It's RJ Hampton, a good play. Yeah, I think Hampton's probably going to play he's a solid value play. He's probably going to play about 22 minutes tonight. I think he played a bit over his head last game, and it's a bit chasey, but it's not really chasing when nobody's really playing him. I think he's a fine play, just not somebody I'm targeting. Fox or Jokic? Jokic for me. Love for Mo Wagner. He's starting to go 20 minutes. Yeah, we already knew that the starters for the Magic and then the 5 direct backups for each of those players were also going to play about 20 minutes tonight. So the starting lineup does not change my outlook, and it shouldn't change your outlook on the Magic guys either. They're all going to play the same amount of minutes as they did last time. They're just messing around with different lineups right now. They were always going to play 20 to 22 minutes anyways. Any concerns about Porter? Yeah, I guess, I mean, obviously, it's one of the later games, so if Porter doesn't play, I can switch off of him, and, that would make Jokic an even better play. But, yeah, I mean, we'll see. He is probable, not questionable. It is a knee injury, though, so, I would sit him if I were the Nuggets, but, he'll probably give it a go. Herb, Udoka, or J-Val and Bol. Man, probably the Udoka side. Check DM. I got you, Matt. I like that lineup a lot, though, Matt. So, if Michael Porter doesn't play, what's your pivot? I mean, I might go to a guy like Paul George, who probably will only play 1/2. Kind of bite the bullet there, but small forward is very, very weak position on FanDuel. Buddy and Clarkson or Curry and Joval? Curry and Joval for sure for me. Saban or Garland vacuuming on FanDuel? Probably Garland. Garland played 28 minutes last game, and everybody is very, very high on Darius Garland coming into the season. So if we're gonna get extended minutes like that from him, yeah, I like him. Now, it is a back-to-back, so maybe we see those minutes come down a bit, but we'll see. Best guard, 6.4K and below. Yeah, it's probably Darius Garland. It's definitely Nickeil Alexander-Walker, but assuming you already have him, it's probably Darius Garland or DeLon Wright. Saban, Barnes, J-Val, Bagley, or Jokic, Murphy, Bol. the Jokic side. Jared Butler or DeLon Wright on FanDuel? DeLon Wright. DeLon okay for DK Cash? Yeah, I think he's fine for that. He's going to play through 3 quarters, and he's probably going to be the 1A or 1B ball handler on that team next to Kevin Huerter. Lee, Marshall, Bagley, J-Val, Fox, Bowl, Curry, love it. Man or Murphy? Yeah, it's probably Murphy slightly, but both of those plays are very good. Just because I think Murphy could play like 30 minutes tonight. I think Man's minutes come down a little bit. It's damn close, though. Marshall or Butler? Marshall for me. Jordan Clarkson a must. I mean, I think he's a very good play. He has like immense upside. And if you're risking his minutes and it pays off, you know, and he plays 3 quarters, like, dude, you're gonna be looking good. But it is log time, guys. If you guys enjoyed the stream, make sure to subscribe, like this video, helps me out more than you know. Yeah, if you guys faded these first couple of games, maybe outside of maybe Saban Lee, make sure to stay on the lookout for news coming out. We're gonna drop all that news on my Patreon and in the Discord. The Discord is actually free, guys. It is linked below, but appreciate you guys being here. I'll see you guys later, probably in the morning with my video, and I'll be live streaming tomorrow 30 minutes